Greetings fellow guitar travellers and welcome to another episode of Judge Shred. I am the law. On this week's Judge Shred we've got an awesome little lick which combines some nice legato, hammer-ons and pull-offs with some monster speed picking, and it's featured on a tune called Mount Olympus, which is home of the Greek gods, don't you know? And I'll tell you all about that later. Before we get into today's lick, I'd like to encourage you to head on over to my website, which is www.roundjparker.com. Whole ton of guitar stuff on that site. There's backing tracks you can download and soloing. There's a whole ton of free lessons, and there's also a shop where you can purchase high quality books, videos and HD lessons, all at very reasonable prices, so check it out. You can also subscribe to my website just by sticking your email address into the subscribe box and hitting subscribe. And if you do that, you get access to a whole bunch of extra free stuff which is only available to subscribers. So do yourself a favour and get subscribing, and you get tabbed for this lesson there as well, so subscribe. Alright, let's get straight into this week's episode of Judge Shred. Let's rock! As you might have realised, the run that I've just played you is the run that features at the beginning of every episode of Judge Shred, and I've had several of my subscribers ask me, well, what is this and can you show me how to play it? So this is what these lessons are all about, these two lessons. So we hope you enjoy very much. Just to let you know a little bit about the tune is called Mount Olympus, which is the home of the Greek gods, don't you know? And it was written for a solo project which I did, probably about 10 years ago, and it never really did very much, just sat around there, and after a bit it got used on the Yamaha Guitar and Counters project, which I was very involved in writing and developing. So we needed a neoclassical shred fest tune to really top the course off and give the students something to really aspire to, and well, this is it. So yeah, it's whittlesome and shred-tastic throughout, and I think you can listen to it on my SoundCloud page. So if you really want to hear the whole tune in all its whittlesome glory, check it out on SoundCloud. Alright, so without further ado, let's get straight down to showing you how to play the lick. Here we go. Now this is a fairly lengthy and complex little lick, so I think what I'll do here is I'll split it into two parts, two episodes, and today, part one, we'll do the first half, which is all the legato stuff. So this is the first half, let me play it to you. Okay, so let's get into showing this to you. So first of all, we've got one of my, what I like to call split octave mirror shapes, which is just a fancy name for things repeating in octave. So here is the split octave mirror. Which is a really simple idea. All it is 12 notes repeating in two separate octaves. So first octave being this, and the second octave being this. Also, so precisely in verbal tab, let's go ahead and show this to you. So we've got low E 3, 5, 7, and then A 3, 5, 7, and then D 4, 5, 7, and then G 4, 5, 7, and standard hammer-on technique now. Pick first note, hammer the other two. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll be becoming horrifically familiar with all this stuff by now. So that's really how I do all that stuff. That's the first octave. Here's the second octave. Same notes, but obviously at one octave. So let's have a listen. So we've got D, 5, 7 and 9, then G, 5, 7 and 9, then onto the B string, 7, 8, 10, and high string 7, 8, 10. Again, it's all pick, hammer, hammer. So combining that together gives us our sort of ascending run, as it were. Easy peasy, really. Okay, and then the next bit is really a series of ascending sixes. So two groups of ascending six and a little position shift. So here's the first six. We've got B, 8, 10, 12, and high E, 8, 10, 12. This little lick. Again, pick, hammer, hammer, you know the deal by now. And then moving up to the next incremental scale degree. We've got B 10, 12, 13, then high E 10, 12, 14, just to keep it in line with our scale, which is G major or E minor. Okay, so if I play now the mirror octaves plus a lot of sixes, we'll see what we've got so far. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the downwards phrase now. Sounds like this. And the way I'm actually playing it is all left hand, so I just hammer on with the pinky. So I'm not picking at all. If your left hand is up to that, then by all means do that. If it's not, can't quite manage it, then you just have to pick the first note of each 6-note group. So here is the first 6-note group on high E string. It sounds like this one. That one, right? If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll have come across this pattern before several times, I think. Alright, so what we've got here is high 15, 12, 14, 15, 14, 12, that one. And then on the B string, we've got 15, 12, 13, 15, 13, 12. Right, and then on the G, it's 14, 11, 12, 14, 12, 11. Right, and then on D, we've got D, 14, 10, 12, 14, 12, 10. That one. And it's the same thing on the A, it's 14, 10, 12, 14, 12, 10. And then the low E is the same again, it's 14, 10, 12, 14, 12, 10. And you just put that all together. So let me do the descending half a bit really slowly. Up to a quicker tempo. Alright, so that's all the elements of the run. So how about I put the legato run all together at a much slower tempo so you can have a listen. So here we go. Okay, and that is it. So final tempo for this one is 120 beats a minute, and it's semi-quaver triplets, which is quite fast, but you know, it's not, you're not picking everything, so it actually shouldn't be that bad. And you know, it sounds awesome, but really it's not that hard to play. A lot of my licks, to be frank, are just the smoke and mirrors. Really sounds absolutely amazing, but when you really break it down, it's quite straightforward, because the idea is that it's actually very difficult to play something extremely complicated quickly. That's really hard. You can play simple things quickly and then put together lots and lots of simple elements, lock them all together like a jigsaw or like a Lego blocks, and then build something which looks and sounds magnificent, but in and of itself is pretty easy. So that's the way to get these monster licks, just little fragments all glued together. Alright, well, I think that does it for the teaching for the part 1, so why don't I have a listen to the final effect one more time, listen to it with the track. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, well that wraps it up for Judge Shred this week. Tune in next week for part 2 of this crazy riff where we get into some monster alternate picking. Alright, before I sign off this week, apart from the website and subscribing and checking out the store and all those things, you can contact me in other ways as well. I'm on Twitter at Rowan J Parker. You can find a whole bunch of my music on SoundCloud, that's Rowan-Parker. I'm on Facebook page Rowan J Parker. You can like if you like, and of course I'm also on YouTube, which you'll be watching no doubt. The YouTube channel is Rowan J Parker, just in case you've just landed on this video by accident. Alright, well thank you very much for your time and attention. I will check you next week for another episode of Judge Shred. Just love saying that. Farewell!